Hello, good evening once again. You're welcome to the You Speak Now and We Listen podcast. I am your humble host, Babatunde Aduloju. Today's topic is a very exciting one, a topic that I have rejigged over the years, cutting across my various experience across different backgrounds as a HR professional, as a project manager, as a business strategist, as a policy development analyst, and even as an author. Yes, the topic is called Think It, Research It, and Do It. In today's episode, we're exploring the power of turning your ideas into actions. Yes, you heard right. We'll dive into the process of brainstorming, researching, and executing of ideas, and share tips on how to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. So let's get started. Join me. In segment 1, we'll be talking about the phrase think it. The first step in turning your idea into a reality is to think it through. This is where you let your imagination run wild and explore different possibilities. But it's not just about dreaming big, is it? It's about being intentional and strategic, thinking through the process. One tool I like to use is the SMART goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break it down. S, specific, speaks about what exactly do you want to achieve. For example, I want to start a podcast. It's a very vague concept. Instead, try, I want to start a podcast on sustainable living targeted at young professionals who want to reduce their digital footprint. M stands for measurable. How will you measure success? This could be the number of downloads, subscribers, or even engagements on social media that you're looking to achieve. The A stands for achievable. Is the goal realistic, based on your resources and constraints? Be honest with yourself while actually breaking down A. The R stands for relevant. Is the goal aligned with your values or my values? The priorities, make sure it is something that truly matters to you, that you're passionate about. The T stands for time bound. What's the deadline for achieving this goal? Set a specific date and work backwards to create a timeline that is justifiable. For example, let's say you want to start a podcast. A SMART goal might be, I want to launch a podcast on sustainable living within the next 3 months, with a goal of publishing 2 episodes per week and researching an audience of 100 listeners within the first 6 months. That sounds like a good SMART goal. Another tool I like to use to analyze is the SWOT analysis. SWOT, we all know, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We can take it further down. S, strengths. What are you good at? What do you have experience in? For example, using the podcast example, your strengths might be or include good communication skills, a passion for the topic matter that you're trying to start a podcast on, and your ability to research and prepare engaging content. Your weaknesses can be, what are you lacking in? What do you need to improve on? This could be your technical skills, your network, or your ability to consistently produce high quality content. The O stands for opportunity. What trends or challenges are happening in your industry? How can you, as a professional, capitalize on these opportunities? For example, if there's a growing interest in sustainable living, you could leverage the trend to attract listeners to your podcast. This is a very vital interest. Threats. What obstacles or challenges might stand in your way? How can you mitigate them? This could include competition from other podcasts that share similar ideas or thought processes like yours, or the difficulty of you being consistent in developing content. For example, breaking down the SWOT analysis. How can you build a sustainable SWOT analysis? Might look like this. You're passionate, which is your strengths, and then you are building an experience for content creation. Weakness, you're new podcasting and you don't have a large audience and you're worried. The opportunities, for example, There is a growing interest in sustainable living, and many people are looking for actionable tips and advice for them to push their podcast information. Threats. There's a lot of competition in the sustainable living space, and it might be hard for you to stand out. Remember, doing the research simplifies the work. So moving into the second stage, which is the part of researching it. When it comes to research, this is where you gather information, data, and insights to validate your idea and inform your approach. Let's say, for example, you are creating that same podcast and you have identified your target audience as entrepreneurs and creatives. You might research topics like podcast marketing strategies, content creation for entrepreneurs, and productivity tips for creatives. An example, you can use online tools like Google Trends, keyword planners, or social media to see what's trending and what's relevant to your audience and that industry. You can also read books, articles, and blogs, or interview experts and speak to friends, which I do a lot. For example, I recently read The $100 Startup by Chris Guillebeau, and it gave me valuable insights into the world of entrepreneurship and online businesses. Some other resources you might need to find as a suitable help for what you try to do is engaging in the online community and forums related to the topic you're trying to discuss. Social media groups, discussions, other podcasts like I'm doing that are in your niche area. Of course, books and online editorials. Remember to also follow influencers in your industry. We move into the last segment of this, which is the do it state. This is where you take action, execute your plan, and turn your ideas into reality. Let's go back to our podcast example. You've brainstormed your idea, fantastic. You have researched your audience, amazing. And now it's time to launch, where a lot of us shy away to actually executing the job. Launching is about consistency and iteration. You might start with a pilot episode, gather feedback, and adjust your approach. One major thing we need to do, and I use it, is I like to use the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, then I just do it. I don't overthink it, I just take action. So what's one thing you can do today to move your idea forward? 1, is it writing a blog post or making that important call or sending the email you need to send? Whatever it is, please do it. Remember, the key is to take action and start moving forward. Don't get stuck in the planning phase. Just do it. Let's understand that as we go through this process, that it's for today's episode more of us actually thinking, researching, and doing it. I hope you're feeling inspired today and motivated to turn your ideas into actions. Remember, it's not just about thinking it, it's about researching and doing it. Here are some books that I can recommend that will be actionable out for us to be able to build clarity in what we're doing. But to use Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. Let's build consistency as we move into the aspect of going through the process of thinking, researching, and actually executing. It is not enough for us to say we are going to do it, not allowing procrastination become the order of the day. But it is advisable for us as idea owners or ideapreneurs to take this journey to build through the steps of thinking. Make sure you analyze what that idea is. And while we're analyzing this idea, be careful not to share your big dreams or your big ideas with small-minded people. It is at this point that you have to identify people not just based on empathy, but based on emotional intelligence. People that would support your idea. People that understand what your idea is about. Or even if they don't, but people that will encourage you on this journey. Remember, when you're researching it, do not be scared, because everything that has value came from the concept of research. Ask the right questions. Go to the right places. Find out from people. Don't be shy to make mistakes. And at the end, when you have gathered the suitable information, remember that it's only valuable when you go ahead to execute it. Not every time we execute that our ideas turn into suitable or realistic successes. Let's understand that failure in itself is a process for us to actually become successful. I always use this example, asking myself, how many times can I fail for me to succeed? But as we move into the later part of this topic, hold tight, remember, only you can understand the idea. The world is waiting for you to share your story. And if you don't sell you, no one will. Understand this today as you go ahead to think it, research it, and do it. Until next time, I remain your loyal host, Babatunde Aduloju. And while you speak, we continue to listen. Thank you.